What is the reason behind you only having one round, Joe? Like, politics of the sport?
I have no idea.
You've been knocking on the door, you
I've
wanted
been
the
knocking on the
opportunity.
door, I've been asking for any fight and every fight. Who knows, right?
In a stunning move that has fans buzzing, undisputed heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk has rejected the WBO's recent order to face Joseph Parker in a mandatory defense of his title.
What did you say to Joseph Parker though when you saw him? I saw you were together.
We say, hey, hello, how are you? Maybe organization like wanna fight. Maybe, I don't know. Like how your family? How good. I respect, bro. I respect. It's a great man. Joseph Parker, like kind of the great smile, man. Like good.
The WBO has demanded that Usyk, fresh off his remarkable 5th-round TKO victory over Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium, enter negotiations with Parker within 30 days. If an agreement is not reached, the bout could go to a purse bid, potentially opening up the opportunity for the fight to take place in a different way, at a different time, and potentially under different terms.
That was a sensational performance by Usyk. I know the fight started off, went back and forth, then he broke him down. And once he broke him down, very decisive at the end, and obviously got the brutal knockout, you know?
You obviously want Usyk. What do you think you can do that nobody else can do to beat him?
I can probably match him for movement, I have to, and endurance and speed. But he's a great fighter, but I'd love to share the ring with him, it'd be an honor.
What happens now? Is this talks going on now that you take on Usyk next?
Derek's in there trying to get a fight. I'm not sure what Derek's doing. He should piss off, and I'm next.
Usyk's recent victory against Dubois was another chapter in his storied career, solidifying his position as the undisputed heavyweight champion after claiming all 4 major belts. He had already held the WBO, WBA, and WBC titles, but added the IBF belt to his collection by defeating Dubois. Despite his undeniable dominance in the division, the Ukrainian fighter's future now appears uncertain, with speculation swirling about his next steps.
Would you want Joseph Parker's name on your ledger, though?
I mean, maybe probably won't, but
yeah,
I know on him he probably will. But if I was him, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, he's cleaned out all the top guys, minus Joe Parker, because he hasn't had the opportunity yet. Now, I love Big Joe, but you would have to favour Usyk in a fight against Joe. If I'm Usyk, I don't even like this game. I hated this game. I'd have got out. I've done it. I've completed it. I've done it.
Yeah, Joe, I might be making a U-turn now. I might be saying Parker, then retire.
Yeah,
Parker, then retire. Then you've beaten. I interviewed him. He asked me to interview him, so I interviewed him at the on the O2 on the big circle thing in London, the London Eye, and he basically told me, "You should I know what I mean. Soft lad." He asked me a couple of questions. I asked him first, what's left? He said 2 more fights. Then he asked me, how's retirement? What's it like? That tells me it's in his mind.
While the boxing world has been eagerly anticipating a potential showdown between Usyk and WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, the WBO's mandate could put those plans on hold. According to the sanctioning body, Usyk is now obligated to face Parker, who has earned his spot as the mandatory challenger following a string of impressive victories. But the big question remains, does Usyk see Parker as a legitimate threat or just another roadblock in his path?
World owes Joseph Parker.
yeah.
The whole heavyweight division owes Joseph Parker, so I'll just say that straight away now.
He gets his arm raised and he sells off into. I think if this guy wins, he's literally done it all.
Joseph Parker's recent string of wins, most notably his victories over Deontay Wilder, Jile Jayang, and Martin Bakole, has catapulted him into the mandatory contender position. With a record of 36-3, Parker has managed to rebuild his career after a few setbacks, showing a level of resilience and skill that has impressed many in the boxing world. His trainer and promoter Frank Warren have been vocal in their belief that Parker deserves his shot at Usyk, with Warren emphasizing the importance of fulfilling the mandatory title defense. However, while Parker's credentials speak for themselves, Usyk seems less than enthusiastic about facing him next, despite the WBO's directive. The WBO's order, though clear, has sparked debate about whether it's in the best interests of the sport. For many, the Parker fight doesn't feel like the marquee event that fans have been waiting for. Usyk, already a highly technical and formidable fighter, may view Parker as a predictable opponent. After all, Usyk has already beaten some of the division's biggest names, including Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. For him, facing a fighter like Parker, who has lost to opponents such as Dillian White, might not provide the kind of challenge that excites him or his fans.
I'm just sitting here with my boy Manvirai, my producer. Here he is, look. Looks like a warrior, doesn't he? Sikh warrior, my man. Anyway, we're talking about Tyson Fury. I've just been reading about him, bitching and moaning about losing to Usyk, talking about he wants a fair shake. He boxed him in the first fight and he was lucky to not get chinned in round 9. The referee basically jumped in and saved him. Then he gets the rematch, tries again, fails again. No shame in losing to a guy like Oleksandr Usyk. He's one of the best to do it. But don't come out now when you're retired and say, oh, I just want a fair go, I want a fair judging to get a fair result. You got a fair shake. The judges ruled the correct decision, not once but twice. You got beat fair and square. You're good, but you're not as good as what you think you are. You've got a foot reach, a foot height advantage, loads of weight. You got beat by a smaller man. He's a cruiserweight, really, Usyk. He stepped up to heavyweight. He's cleaned up. He's done AJ twice. He's done Dubois. He's probably going to do Dubois again. I ain't got a favourite in that fight, by the way. It's not happened yet. And he's done you twice, and he'll do you through a third time. He should be magnanimous in defeat. You do the sport no favours by moaning about judges and wanting a fair crack at the whip. You got fucking done. Get over it and move on.
Adding to the complexity of the situation is the issue of step-aside deals. While Usyk could technically vacate the WBO belt or work out a deal for Parker to step aside, there is little indication that either fighter is willing to entertain such negotiations. The WBO has made it clear that they want a resolution within 30 days, which means time is of the essence.
To what Ade just said, do you agree with his assessment regarding your guy Joe? Should he fight the likes of Kabayel as opposed to waiting for Usyk?
It's interesting to see what will happen now and what the position or how this all plays out, really, and what Usyk decides to do. Like you said, he's probably 7 months away from fighting. Joe hasn't fought since February. He needs a fight, Joseph. He's, like Adi said, when he's active, he's at his best. Now, whether Usyk vacates and he fights somebody, the next best challenger, or Usyk decides to fight Joseph, which would be admirable, which he doesn't have to do probably because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing, and if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, like crossover fight with an ex-MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice, because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way.
Despite Usyk's reluctance to face Parker immediately, there are a number of voices in the boxing world who believe that Parker deserves the shot and that this could be a great fight. Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis has spoken out in favor of Parker's chances, suggesting that the New Zealander may be one of the few fighters who could give Usyk a real challenge. Lewis pointed out that Parker, despite not being the largest heavyweight, brings unique qualities to the ring that could disrupt Usyk's rhythm. His quick hands, high work rate, and ability to adapt during a fight could make him a dangerous opponent for the Ukrainian.
How long can Oleksandr Usyk? How long can Oleksandr go on for, Lennox? Look better than ever at 38 years of age.
38 years of age. I mean, let me tell you, he's looking good. There's no injuries, and he moves well. He's still got the speed, so I think he can go on for another couple years. And with the sports science that he's using, it's really helping him.
This sentiment is echoed by none other than Roy Jones Jr., who has been a longtime advocate for fighters who bring intangibles to the table. According to Jones, Parker's ability to adjust his style against larger fighters could be the key to unsettling Usyk's smooth and calculated technique. Usyk has often been most comfortable against bigger opponents, where he can outmaneuver them with his exceptional footwork and technical prowess. A smaller, more agile fighter like Parker, however, could be a more unpredictable challenge.
What you gotta remember is there are certain things you gotta take away from Oleksandr Usyk right away. If you don't take those things away from him, you're not gonna beat him. So it's like, he's not an easy sell for anybody to beat, period. But for me, it wouldn't have been easy, but I'm faster than him. So I would use my speed to my advantage to make sure I took advantage of it and didn't let him hit me. Because now I think he took the advice I put out there about him one time, and he's become a little bit more explosive as a puncher. You understand me?
Yep.
So now he's taking these guys out with one shot. That's the only thing he was lacking as a cruiserweight. Now he becomes a real legitimate heavyweight problem because he is explosive. So he's faster than most of these guys. He has a very, very high IQ, and now he's even punching with explosive power. He's a very hard sell right now. With me, I would have been smarter. I was faster. I wouldn't given him nothing in the early rounds. But late, I would have started pushing the pressure. I would have made him back up, not let him back me up. And it would have probably been a different outcome, but he's also a Capricorn, so he's smart just like I am.
What a fight that would have been. The WBO have called him to fight Joseph Parker. We don't know if that's going to be next. Usyk might vacate and go elsewhere with a Fury trilogy, etc. If it is Joseph Parker, what problems and questions can he pose that others haven't, or can he not?
It's funny you say that, because a guy just asked me not long ago who I think would be best or that had the best opportunity to give Usyk a fight. The best guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick. He throws combinations. He has a great trainer with him now, in Andy Lee, and he's more comfortable than I've ever seen him in his whole career.
However, not everyone shares this optimism for Parker. Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch, who has witnessed Usyk's dominance firsthand, believes that while Parker may deserve the title shot, he doesn't stand much of a chance. Froch has acknowledged Parker's recent success, but is quick to point out that his past losses to fighters who were not as skilled as Usyk put him at a significant disadvantage. Froch also noted that Parker's high work rate might be neutralized by Usyk's elite boxing IQ and ability to control the pace of a fight.
So if he retires now, he's achieved absolutely everything in the game. And who does he fight? I mean, Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker was supposed to fight Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois got ill, didn't he? He fell ill. And he ended up fighting Martin Bakole. And Bakole was like, I think he went over to Saudi on late notice and he wasn't at his best. Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight. Quite fast hands, high work rate. But let's not forget who Parker's lost to already. I mean, he lost to Dillian Whyte a few years ago, and he's since been beaten a few times by people that really couldn't lace Usyk boots. And I'm not having a go at Joseph Parker. And I do think that if anybody deserves a fight, he does. He deserves the fight, deserves the payday. But is anybody realistically giving Joseph Parker a chance against Oleksandr Usyk? Because I'm not. I just don't think it's realistic. I'm a big fan of Joseph Parker. I think he's a great guy. He's a hard worker. He's improved a lot. He's had some good wins. Zhilei Zhang, Deontay Wilder, etc. You know what he's done. But I don't think you can stick him in with Oleksandr Usyk and expect any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age.
This mixed reaction to the potential Usyk versus Parker bout adds an interesting layer to the story. On one hand, you have a fighter like Lewis, who sees Parker as the most realistic challenger for Usyk right now. On the other hand, you have critics like Froch, who view the fight as a mismatch. Whether or not the fight happens, it seems that Usyk's legacy will continue to evolve with or without Parker in the picture.
Just spoke to your man Joe Parker and he said, I will beat Oleksandr Usyk. What gives you the confidence that will happen as well, Andy?
Joe is the last challenge left. He can offer something that nobody else can. Craft, cleverness, doesn't take breaks, can fight the pace. It's a great challenge, and we just want to fight the best.
Adding fuel to the fire, former heavyweight contender Derek Chisora has been outspoken about his thoughts on Daniel Dubois' recent performance against Usyk. After the rematch, which saw Dubois fall short once again, Chisora made waves by accusing Dubois of quitting. This isn't the first time Dubois has faced criticism for not continuing in tough situations, with his past bouts against both Usyk and Joe Joyce also marred by similar accusations. For Chisora, this seems to be the final straw, and he has openly suggested that Dubois should step away from the sport if he's not willing to dig deep during challenging moments.
First two shots in the fight hit Daniel on the chin, and then that's when Daniel just quit. He could not gather himself. He didn't throw the double jab. He didn't actually say no one.
He didn't step into it.
He didn't bite his gumshoe and say, you know what, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
When you say the first 2 shots in the fight, they went to the chin, then he quit, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, he just folded, he just quit. I mean, like, in a way, not quit like walking out the ring. Quit off like, you know what, I'm just going to try and survive. Do you understand? He didn't actually bite his gumshoe and just go for the fight.
Interestingly, Frank Warren, Dubois' promoter, has been quick to defend his fighter, offering an intriguing potential matchup between Dubois and Chisora if the latter truly believes that the former has a problem with quitting. Whether or not this fight materializes remains to be seen, but it's clear that Dubois' future in the heavyweight division is under intense scrutiny. It's hard to see him being able to climb back to title contention if his mental fortitude continues to be questioned.
Just finally first, because we're almost out of time. Derek Chisora says he wants you both to walk him out for his 50th and final fight. Could it happen?
Yeah. Why not? He's got his 50th fight. We've got to work out where it's going to be, but it'll happen over the summer. He's the mandatory to Daniel Dubois now. He's the IBF mandatory after that he got beat.
By being beat Wilder.
Yeah, so he's the man there, and who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But one thing's for sure, he's going to have his final fight, which will be his 50th, and I think we both want him to retire. He's got to after that. You know, boxers, it becomes after a certain stage, it becomes very dangerous for him. And it's got to be a big one. And it's something that everybody remember. And the turnout and the love he got from the last show in Manchester was unbelievable. And he was talking about he wants to fight abroad, but he's since said to me, I'd love it to be in London.
Yeah.
So that's what I think will happen.
Yeah, and get the
last.
The
very last.
We promise. Yeah.
Yet another angle in this heavyweight drama is the evolving situation with Tyson Fury. Many had hoped that the third fight between Fury and Usyk would take place sooner rather than later, but with Usyk's WBO obligations now taking center stage, it seems that a Fury-Usyk trilogy is on hold for the time being. While the two fighters have both made waves in the division, Usyk's unyielding commitment to defending his titles against mandatory challengers like Parker may push the highly anticipated showdown with Fury into the background, at least for the next year.
Very well, very rich, very good looking, very f***ing young.
Any sort of, obviously, you're surrounding yourself with boxing stuff. I see you training an awful lot.
This is my first time I've been to a boxing event.
You're still training though, you're still keeping yourself fit, you're still doing that. Is that, do you miss?
Twice a day, daily. Yeah, I've already done 2 sessions this morning.
Have you got any feeling sort of in retirement now? Is there anything that tells you know what, give it a few months and I may make the return to the sport? Or right now, as you feel, it's done and dusted?
What would I be coming back for?
Don't.
You know, if I was going to come back, I'd come back for Usyk. But I want a fair result in England.
Would he be the only fighter that you'd come back for?
That would be the one I want immediately. That would be the most fight that I'd want next.
In England? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. For sure.
Appreciate it.
I only want a fucking fair fight. I don't want any favours. I want a fair fight and a fair result, which I believe and I know I didn't.
How did you score that second fight?
I fucking thought I won it by 5 rounds. I've watched it literally 250 times. And each way, I never ever see it as a way for him to win. But I know they can do what they want. If they say it's fucking Tuesday, it's Tuesday. I've always said I never give a fuck about anybody's opinion until it took me fucking life.
What's clear from all this is that the heavyweight division is as unpredictable as ever. Usyk's future, once looking like it would be filled with mega fights against the likes of Fury, now seems to have taken a detour. Whether that detour leads to Parker, or whether the Ukrainian decides to vacate a title or strike a step-aside deal is still uncertain. What is certain, however, is that boxing fans have plenty to look forward to in the coming months. In conclusion, Usyk's rejection of the WBO's mandatory order is just the latest plot twist in the ongoing saga of the heavyweight division. While Parker's team insists that he deserves the chance to challenge for the title, Usyk's lack of interest leaves the future of the division up in the air.